What's up, Savvy Expats? So we already discussed 5 reasons to move to the Philippines in part 1 of this topic, and now we're going to discuss 5 more reasons to move to the Philippines here on part 2. As always, if you want to show your gratitude to the channel, that'll all be linked down below. Alright, without wasting time, let's get into it. So kicking off this list, the first reason to move to the Philippines is the tropical weather. If you're from a cold place such as Chicago like myself, you're probably sick of shoveling snow off your driveway, constantly freezing your butt off every time you go outside, and having to wake up early to warm up the car before work. Well, I'd say it's time for a change, wouldn't you agree? So pack your swimming trunks and get ready to bask in the sun, because the Philippines is awaiting you with sunny tropical weathers. None of that gloomy, dark, and damp weather. It's depressing, honestly. I don't know about you, but having good weather actually affects my mood. There's something about the sunlight that not only betters your health, but also your mental. And so it's no wonder why overcast places like Seattle have some of the highest depression rates out of the whole country of America. A survey from the US Census Bureau found that in mid-November back in 2020, half of the Seattle area adults dealt with feelings of depression. Of the 3 million people over the age of 18 in Seattle's metro area, 1.5 million were feeling down, depressed, and hopeless. But here in the Philippines, on the contrary, it's warm, tropical, and sunny. And so average temperatures in the Philippines usually range between 21 degrees Celsius or 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and 32 degrees Celsius or 90 degrees Fahrenheit. The average yearly temperature comes in at about 90 degrees Fahrenheit or 26 degrees Celsius. Now, depending on the time of year, temperatures tend to fluctuate. Generally, January is the coolest month of the year, while May is the hottest month. And unlike other countries where the seasons are classified as summer and winter months, the Philippine seasons is classified by dry and rainy seasons. So the dry season is from December to May, while the wet season is from June to November. So lately, because we've been in the dry season, weathers have been absolutely gorgeous. We just finished up January, so it's not too humid outside, nor is it cold whatsoever. We just wear a t-shirt and shorts. And so the best time to visit the Philippines weather-wise is from January to May. And I'll say I love being able to walk outside and the skies are blue, there's a nice breeze, and it's warm. You guys probably can't tell, but it is absolutely gorgeous outside. There are some days, however, where it gets hot and humid, but it's better than freezing off in the snow and rain. So reason number 1, the island tropical weathers is without a doubt a reason you should move to the Philippines. Now for the second reason to move to the Philippines, that is the slower paced lifestyle. So this really depends on your perspective. If you want to settle down, relax, and chill, then the Philippines is for you. If, on the other hand, you enjoy the fast-paced lifestyle, you don't like waiting, and you're constantly on the go, then the Philippines may not be for you. Because the Philippines is a type of country where you look around and you can tell you're living on an island, even if you're in a city. People generally walk slower, conversations are held for longer, and waiting is more involved in your daily life. And so it goes without saying, but the Philippines is definitely slower paced than other countries like America, for example. This can be nice because the slower paced lifestyle contributes to the people being laid back and chill. And related to this, what I like about the Philippines is that people are generally more family oriented. Unlike other countries where it's work, 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 Filipinos take time to spend with their family. And of course you have to have that work-life balance. It can't always be just doing nothing or only working your life away. Speaking of relaxing, when you come here, you'll notice that there are a lot of Philippine holidays. You have Chinese New Year, People Power Revolution Day, Good Friday, Philippine Independence Day, Ninoy Aquino Day, All Souls Day, and Rizal Day. And that's just to name a few. The many holidays is partly due to prominent Filipino figures in the country's religion, Catholicism. So if you're coming here to settle down and take a load off, you'll definitely feel more relaxed. And even for my family, we lived a relaxed lifestyle despite living in a city. So you can only imagine what your life will be like if you're living in the province. And we don't have to run around doing all these errands throughout the day like we would living back in America. So depending on what you have going on in the Philippines, your lifestyle will likely be the same. Very laid back. Now for the third reason to move to the Philippines, that is the diversity of places to visit. With over 7,000 unique and different islands on this archipelago, the Philippines is not just a one-note place. The beauty about this country is that you have city locations, provincial locations, mountainous locations, and beach locations. And so if you're living in a city like Manila and you want a change of scenery, you can easily drive out to the province in less than an hour during non-peak hours. If you want a little break from the heat, you can drive out to Tagaytay or Baguio and experience the cool and brisk mountainous weathers. And I don't even have to mention, if you want to lay out or swim, you have beaches nearby practically anywhere you go. And so even if you're bored over one particular place in the Philippines, you have over 7,000 other options to check out. You have waterfalls, rice fields, chocolate hills, mystical caves, volcanoes, resorts, Spanish architecture, buffets, lagoons, you name it. This is all accessible to you. And even if this gets old for you, you can take a flight out to Guam and check out the Americanized aspects of the place. Either that or you can fly out to Hong Kong, Taiwan, or Japan. So evidently there's seemingly countless things to see and do in the Philippines, making it a great place to move to. Now for the fourth reason to move to the Philippines that's often not talked about, that is the traditional values. So this is not based on political stance or whether or not you're a liberal or conservative, but let's be real here. For us Americans, part of the reason we're leaving the country is because it's not the same as it used to be. As I've mentioned in our past video, crime is committed nonchalantly and politicians seem to not even care and even go as far to justify it. There's constant tension and division. You can rarely ever look on the news without seeing something heart-wrenching. Certain ideals are forced on your kids in schools and parents have no say in it. You can't go a day without seeing division between two parties in the media, constant arguing and drama. And it just seems like right is wrong and wrong is right. Some people don't even believe there's such thing as right from wrong. Ridiculous. And so all of this to say, if you're leaving America for what it has become, then moving to the Philippines would be a great place to move to for what America used to be in terms of values. Well, I can't say for everything because, obviously they're not the same in all aspects. But in terms of being able to speak your mind without feeling like you're walking on eggshells with other people, then the Philippines is a place. Division is not as strong here. The people tend to be chill, and usually it's only the younger generation that gets triggered over your ideals. Or another example is a household. From what I've observed, families here still believe in the nuclear family structure, which seems to be unfortunately lost in the US. That's also another reason why so many American expats move to the Philippines for relationships. Because expats know that women are actually women here. They're not trying to be the man of the house. Women in the Philippines are mostly traditional, conservative, and feminine women. Whereas in the US, with feminism and all that, it's a different mentality. Let's just leave it at that. Everyone always wants to throw out the word misogynist for believing in traditional family structure, but I'm not a misogynist. I'm merely pointing out what values exist in the Philippines. Most people here believe that a man is a man and a woman is a woman, though this is changing with millennials and Gen Z. And so if you don't agree with it, hey, you do you, but this is what I've observed from living here, and this is why many people choose to wife up Filipinos. Now for the fifth and final reason to move to the Philippines, that is less tourists. Compared to the nearby country of Thailand, the Philippines gets less tourists, making it a more authentic place to live. Before the pandemic, Thailand would receive 40 million tourists per year, while the Philippines would receive less than 10 million tourists per year. This is nice because when you're living in a place with too many tourists, it's almost as if you're not experiencing a different country. So here in the Philippines, while there are touristy spots, there are also a lot of untouched local places. Also, because there are more tourists in Thailand, that also drives up the price in certain places. But here in the Philippines, find a place with minimal tourists and you'll be able to find a place that's affordable. Of course, this all depends on where you go though. So there you have it, Savvy Expats. That is part 2 of the top 5 reasons to move to the Philippines. If you want to see more content related to this, let's get this video to 500 likes and be sure to subscribe. And so thank you for watching, Savvy Expats, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless.